Voice of Korea.
This is Voice of Korea.
This is Voice of Korea.
This is Voice of Korea. Dear listeners, now we start English language service of Voice of Korea from Pyongyang, the capital of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea. We now bring you Mixed Colors, Song of General Kim Il-sung. enjoy your meal, chorus. Song of General Kim Jong-il. You are listening to VOK, Voice of Korea News Now. Kim Jong-un, Chairman of the Workers' Party of Korea and Chairman of the State Affairs Commission and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, watched the test fire of super-large multiple rocket launches undertaken by the Academy of Defense Science. It was watched by General Park Jong-chun, Chief of the General Staff of the Korean People's Army and commanders of the large combined units of the Army. The running test fire was aimed at making a final examination of the combat applicability of the super-large multiple rocket launches. It proved that the military and technical superiority and firm reliability of the weapon system. Kim Jong-un expressed great satisfaction over the result of the test fire. The commanders of the large combined units of the Korean People's Army respectively offered greetings of congratulations and thanks to Kim Jong-un, who had many arms and equipment with great power developed and completed this year alone to strengthen the People's Army militarily and technically. A tablet honored the great leader Kim Jong-il was displayed at the Khabarovsk Territorial Veterans Hall in Russia. Engraved on the tablet were Korean and Russian letters reading, Comrade Kim Jong-il, General Secretary of the Workers' Party of Korea and Chairman of the National Defense Commission of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, visited the Khabarovsk Territorial Veterans Hall on August 17, 2001. Unveiling ceremony of the tablet was held on the spot on the 22nd. Present there were personages of the Khabarovsk Territorial Government and Legislative Assembly, the Khabarovsk City Administration, the mission of the Foreign Ministry in Khabarovsk, public organizations and institutions, veterans and officials of the press of Russia, and the Deputy Consul General of the DPRK in Khabarovsk. The tablet was unveiled and flower baskets and bouquets were laid.
A congratulatory speech was made and the performance given. Dr. Hudson, chairman of the British Group for the Study of the Chukchi ID, who visited the DPRK, expressed his excitement at the reality of Korea, where the working masses are enjoying a journey in life as the masters of the state and society. He said that through the visit to the Pyongyang Kim Jong-suk silk mill, he had a better understanding of the popular system of Korea, and continued, the mill has modern cultural and welfare facilities for the workers, such as House of Culture and Sanatorium. In the scientific learning space, ordinary workers are acquiring modern science and technology. It was an unusual spectacle which can be seen only in socialist Korea, Chukchi, where the working masses enjoy an independent and creative life. What is more surprising was that a wonderful nursery has been built for women, holding a great majority of the employees to work without any inconvenience. Such a marvelous reality is a noble fruition of the love for the people of the Supreme Leader Kim Jong-un, who carries forward the intention of the great Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il. Really happy are the working people of Korea, guided by the great leader who devotes himself with warm love for them, Dr. Hudson stressed. Kim Jong-un, chairman of the State Affairs Commission of the DPRK, was presented with the credentials of the Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of the Republic of Cyprus to the DPRK, sent by Cypriot President Nikos Anastasiades. Upon the authorization of Kim Jong-un, Cha Ryong-hae, first vice chairman of the State Affairs Commission and president of the Presidium of the Supreme People's Assembly, received the credentials from Cypriot Ambassador Antonis Tmazis at the Monthly Assembly Hall in Pyongyang on the 27th. Cha Ryong-hae talked with the Cypriot ambassador. A national presentation of technical experiences, an exhibition of scientific research findings in the field of agriculture opened at the Grand People's Study House in Pyongyang on the 26th. Present at the opening ceremony were Park Tae-dok, Vice Chairman of the Central Committee of the Workers' Party of Korea, officials concerned, and officials, scientists, teachers, grade students, and 3 Revolution team members of the exhibiting unit. Made public there will be at least 100 scientific research findings and hundreds of technical experiences gained by agricultural scientific research institutions and agricultural universities, agricultural guidance organs, and production units across the country. Displayed at the exhibition hall were more than 1,600 new crop seeds and veterinary medicines of over 400 kinds. The presentation and exhibition will last until the 29th. More than 160 youth work teams and sub-work teams of agricultural farms in Korea have attained high yields this year. They selected high-yielding strains suited to the soil characteristics and actively introduced advanced farming methods. Particularly, they provide conditions favorable for the growth of crops by taking active measures to prevent damage from long drought, typhoon, and harmful insects. After all, many units surpassed their peak yield levels and overfulfilled the state grain production plan. The 2019 Pyongyang Underground Shop Autumn Trade Fair is on the way in Korea. Displayed at the fair were a great variety of products, including consumer goods, foodstuffs, and local farm products. Through the fair, successes and experiences in producing a large number of famous goods and commodities favored by the people are exchanged and generalized. The fair will last until the 29th. The genealogy of the deeds of Doksu of historical value has been housed at the Korean Central History Museum. It records the names and achievements of ancestors of the first generation of the Dis with Doksu as an origin, and the descendants including Ri Yi, or pen name Ri Ryul-gok, a famous bureaucrat and scholar in the 16th century. The 11th Non-Permanent Tangible Heritage Examination and Appraisal Committee held in August evaluated that the genealogy is something out of the common and a valuable historical relic. The genealogy was donated by Ri Yun-hee, a woman living in Sangseon-dong, has a city of South Hwanghae Province.
And that's the end of the news read by Ri Hyang-sim and Kim Hyun-oh. This is Voice of Korea.
Please enjoy your female solo. We called him father.
Precious guideline. One day in September 104 or 2015, the respected Supreme Leader Kim Jong-un visited the venue of the exhibition of daily necessaries in the field of munitions industry. Seeing various kinds of daily necessaries, he highly appreciated that the products on display in the exhibition hall are warmly associated with the painstaking efforts of the workers to contribute to the improvement of the people's living. He said the great leader Kim Il-sung proposed producing daily necessaries in the field of munitions industry. And since then, the work was developed into a patriotic work of the munitions workers and continued. Producing a greater number of good quality daily necessaries is an issue to implement the instructions of the great leaders Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il, an issue to defend ours, and an issue to display more fully the superiority of our socialist system. It is no use to make so many products the people don't want. What is important is to sensitively understand what products the people like and direct efforts to producing goods which can satisfy their demands. The instructions given by Kim Jong-un that day were a precious guideline that should be followed in the work for the people. You've been listening to an account under the title Precious Guideline. This is Voice of Korea.
You enjoy your trumpet trio. We feel sick for his warm embrace. Now we present the song Glory to the Workers' Party of Korea. We follow the party with one mind, the party working for the nation forever. The banner demonstrating the course of path shines all over the world. Glory to the party, thanks to the party, to our great party leading us to victory.
Socialism of Korea is invincible. The international community highly praises the socialism of Korea, which is demonstrating its invincible might and dignity all over the world without wavering in whatever storm and stress. The German newspaper Die Rote Fahne stressed, "The socialist banner has been invariably flattering since the establishment of the social system in Korea in the East. It is because the Korean-style socialism is the people-centered socialism, applying the Juche outlook on the people, the philosophy for the people. The people-first principle is applied to the activities of the Workers' Party of Korea and the state and to all fields of social life. It is not an accident that the Korean people regard socialism as their life and soul, and it is quite natural that socialism of Korea emerges ever victorious. Harish Gupta, Director General of the Asian Regional Institute of the Tsuchi Idea at an international seminar, said,
"The people who live in the people-centered socialist country hold the position as masters of the state and society and discharge their responsibility and role as such while leading worthwhile and happy life of masters. The imperialists and their vassal forces desperately slander the superior state social system of socialist Korea, but they can never destroy dignity and authority of socialist Korea, in which the leader and the party, the army and the people are united firmly into one integrated whole."
The Chinese Hong Kong magazine International Link pointed out, people-centered socialism has been built in the Democratic People's Republic of Korea thanks to the leaders who love the people infinitely and devote their lives to them. The single-minded unity of the leader, the party, and the masses, the eternal viability of Korean-style socialism, is based on the infinite love of the leaders for the people. Socialism of Korea, which applied the idea of President Kim Il-sung and leader Kim Jong-il on believing in the people as in heaven, is further consolidated and developed by the politics of love of the Supreme Leader Kim Jong-un for the people. As the international community comments, the people-centered socialism of Korea, where the leader, the party, and the masses are single-mindedly united, will emerge ever victorious and prosper forever.
So far, you've been listening to the 14 comments under the title, Socialism of Korea is Invincible. This is Voice of Korea. You'll enjoy your band music, The Future of Korea. appreciate a female chorus only along the road of socialism.
길이 멀다고 멈췄었던가 시련이 많다고 돌았었던가 하라는 행복이 되게 됐어 세대를 깨워라 성비주의는 우리의 친구 성비주의는 우리의 친구 성비주의 끝까지 가리라 성비주의 원한 대로 일은 있기에 지켜온 한기 그랬지 모르고 달려온 한기 이 길이 버텨질 손이 없어 절대로 헛되게 하지 않으리 성비주의는 우리의 생명 성비주의는 우리의 생명 성비 믿고 끝까지 가리라 성비주의 원한 길로 우리는 영원한 성비주의와 자비의 운명을 함께 하리라 우리가 본득한 대한민국을 했고 한국의 영광을 설정하리라 성비주의는 우리의 생명 성비주의는 우리의 생명 끝까지 가리라 성비주의 원한 대로 성비주의는 우리의 생명 성비주의는 우리의 생명 성비주의 끝까지 가리라 성비주의 원한 대로 성비주의는 우리의 생명 성비주의는 우리의 생명
Here is mean flute solo, Let's Sing of Mount Kumgang. Basically, we love our country.
Please appreciate the female quartet and Pang Chang. Happy tomorrow.
흘러가는 세월 오늘 이렇게 좋은데 우리의 내일 도토리 어떤 기타 함께로운 우리의 내일 눈앞에 기다리는 행복인데 우리 왜 못 이루고요 길거리로 뿌듯이야 식당으로 갖고 온 우리 결심하는 너의 것을 다 이룰 사실이잖아 어떤 기타 못된 내일 눈앞에 기다리는 행복인데 우리 왜 못 이루려 불편함을 누리 영광이 기대는 우리 동무들아 같은 주고 감사하게 발걸음 내딛다 앞선 기타 못된 내일 광기로운 우리의 내일 눈앞에 기다리는 행복인데 우리 왜 못 이루려 어떤 기타 못된 내일 광기로운 우리의 내일 눈앞에 기다리는 행복인데 우리 왜 못 이루려 눈앞에 기다리는 행복인데 우리 왜 못 이루려
Dear listeners, with this we conclude the English language service of Voice of Korea from the Democratic People's Republic of Korea. Voice of Korea presents its English language service for Europe between 15 and 16 hours UTC, between 18 and 19 hours UTC, between 21 and 22 hours UTC, and between 13 and 14 hours UTC on 7,570 kHz and 12,015 kHz. For North America, between 15 and 16 hours UTC and between 13 and 14 hours UTC on 9,435 kHz and 11,710 kHz. And for Northeast Asia, between 4 and 5 hours UTC and between 6 and 7 hours UTC on 7,220 kHz, 9,445 kHz and 9,730 kHz. Goodbye.
对，是也在。